I'll be the first to admit it. I might be being dramatic. But this week, we bought a replacement for the Kondor Blue Cage. I didn't want to. I'm emotionally attached to this cage, given that it was one of the first things I bought for this camera. But there was just a few things that I couldn't get over. I'm just so frustrated to keep having to buy new gear, but it was time. So consider this less of a, hey, go buy this new thing, go buy something else with your gear, and consider it more of a rest in peace to the Kondor Blue Cage. Number one, okay, I'll start with the sillier things first. The blue, Kondor Blue, I get it's in your name. I love the Blue Man Group. Okay, I watch Bluey, but we could go without it, really, honestly. There's just so much. And then the version 2, the newer version of this cage, has even more blue. It's less blue. I don't know, when you're on set, you want to be conspicuous. You want to kind of blend in, and you don't want a bunch of blue stuff all around, including the cables, all that. It's just not ideal. The second thing is that there's nowhere to put straps here at the top or at the bottom. More specifically, the bottom is kind of more where you want to do it just in case you want to like sling it across and shoot some B-roll or hold it up against your chest. 3, and I'll combine a few things in this. This is so cumbersome, this cage. And this newer version of this cage seemed just as cumbersome. This top NATO rail plate is so high and so big, I think unnecessarily. This right-hand side is that NATO rail that's on the side is so big that it makes it pretty uncomfortable to use with your hand. On the left-hand side is the same thing. And kind of in that same vein, it's so sharp at certain points, like down here. And I didn't realize how uncomfortable it was until I got a different cage. And it just felt so much softer in my hands and so much more low profile. In fact, the camera felt like it got smaller. And lastly, this is one of the bigger reasons why we're getting rid of this cage. It's really all of this adding up over the last few years. But this level, first of all, never used it, never looked at it, okay? This makes it so that this side of the camera isn't flat. And what that means is, when you're trying to screw this onto something that's bigger than, let's say, the inch that's here, it'll be lopsided, or it'll kind of angle down because of this bevel, or because this protrudes so much. More recently, we were trying to put this on a teleprompter vertically, and we couldn't because this made it so that this side wasn't flat. Now, we could do this side, but we needed the HDMI out and the audio out. So it presented us with a very, very annoying problem the day of the shoot. Version 2 has the same protruding level, and that was kind of the last straw, you could say, for why we're getting rid of this cage. And while we move to, one quick note during this transition, there's 2 different sizes hex screws for this cage, but it just makes it take longer for someone to remove the cage if for whatever reason they needed to. So let's go back to the transition. Ready? You see, pretty cool transition, huh? This Smallrig FX3 cage is so much more low profile. It feels so much softer in my hands. This cold shoe mount is useful. It's angled, so it can be used even with this audio attachment. Overall, all the problems I wanted fixed were fixed with this. And even like the detail of the worn out corners is pretty cool. And it's also very nice. I had mentioned this during, that quick little weird transition. Everything I need to take this cage on and off is included at the very bottom. It's all flat, the flat head screw. There's not 2 different types of screws or 3 different types of screws if you want to take this out. But anyways, we upgraded, and I say upgraded on purpose, to this Smallrig cage. If you've seen any of our older videos, obviously we're using the Kondor Blue Cage, so I felt like justifying the change. And if I missed anything, or I'm wrong, or I don't know, you want to say something nice in the comments, feel free to do so. You can follow us on Instagram and on TikTok at Juicebox Portland, and go make something cool. Peace. If you're having the same problems, if you're having, I don't know, I relate to you, I guess. I see you, okay?